All right, guys, what's up? We're back. Let me get my camera angle decent. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for everybody who could be here. Believe it or not, this is week 15 of doing live chats this season. So, pretty big milestone for me. I'm excited. Hope you guys are doing well. Speaking of excited, it's been a good start to the month of March here. Just rode yesterday. Yeah. Had to think about that for a minute at Snowbird, and kind of sort of got the tail end of the storm that came in Sunday, Monday, but it was sick. It was really good. There was a bunch piled up from over the weekend, obviously, and then there was like, I want to say 3 or 4 inches overnight, and then it continued to snow throughout the day. It wasn't heavy, but it was like flurries off and on. And we basically had probably another 4 to 5 in the first half of the day, and then it kind of cleared up. But ended up getting some really good snow out in Bookends. If you guys are familiar with that, at the Bird, you got to traverse pretty far out on Path to Paradise and Mineral. But if you get out there, it's totally worth it. You got to hike back inbounds from a cat track, so it's not too bad of a hike. But you basically hike uphill on a groomed cat track to get to the Mineral Basin Chair. So did that. It was pretty sick. I had a couple homies visiting from back east, Joey and Aaron, also known as AK. They were both actually in a couple of my videos last season. Joey, you guys might have seen in my step-on video I did. I did a video reviewing step-ons. I titled it our Burton step-ons outdated already. And we filmed that video last April, and it was funny because after, I don't know, a month or two, like towards the end of the season, that video wasn't really gaining much traction. I think it finished with like 3, maybe 4,000 views, something like that. And then by the fall, it started picking up traction. And I guess because people are starting to shop around and get interested in buying gear and stuff. But that video took off after, like 4 or 5 months. And so far this season, it's been like my highest performing video. So that's kind of crazy. But anyway, linked up with Joey, which was dope. And then Aaron. And both of those guys I taught with back east at Liberty Mountain. So if any of you guys are familiar with Ski Liberty, we used to call it, in southern Pennsylvania, I used to teach there with those guys. And Aaron was in a video last season as well. I think we did a Pall Mall video. Yeah, we went to Powder Mountain with him and Joey, and had a pretty sick day there with, I want to say, Anthony. Speaking of Anthony, I haven't rode with him at all this season yet, guys. So if anybody misses Anthony in the videos, let me know. Gonna try to get him back in a few videos. Also, Colby reached out to me today. If you guys remember Colby, he was in probably most famously the insole review video I did. I did an insole test with Footprint insoles, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a big supporter of them. And did a comparison with Shred soles and stock 32 insoles. But anyway, he was in that video with me as well. And he reached out to me and said he wants to try to ride and film again soon. So hopefully we can connect. He doesn't have a Brighton pass, I don't think, but I'm going to try to hook him up with some days at the Bird. Speaking of hooking up, shout out to Alex. Alex hooked up Joey with a pass to the Bird. And Alex, if you guys are wondering where he's been in Alaska. He just got back last Monday, I want to say. No, maybe the week before. 2 Mondays ago. But he had an epic time in Alaska. Kind of jealous. He's trying to talk me into going with him on a trip next year to Alaska. It's very tempting, although it's just going to be tough for me to take that much time away from family because it's like a week-long commitment, because you don't know what the weather's going to do in AK. It's kind of, you go there for like a window and you hope that it snows in that window at some point. You got to be ready to go as soon as you get the call from the heliops. But yeah, he has some footage from that trip, some POV footage that just looks amazing. If you guys aren't following Alex on Instagram, follow him. I'm trying to remember his handle. I think it's _ Villanueva Jr. or Villanueva Jr. _ something like that. But anyway, he asked me if I can throw together some clips into an edit for him. So let me know if you guys want to see that in a board progression episode. The footage looks insane, even though it's just POV as far as I know. But I think it'd be cool to throw some Alaska footage in here. So anyway, I'll try to get into any questions if anybody has some. Drop a comment. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Speaking of locations, we're going to be switching up a board progression location in 3 weeks, I believe. Going to be in Boise, Idaho on March 23rd. I mentioned this in my last live chat. So if anybody's in that area, that'd be awesome. It would be awesome to link up. Yeah. Red mentioned that he is in that area and maybe he can help out with some passes. Speaking of which, there he is. What's up, Red? How you doing, man? I missed you in the last chat or two. I think you were showing up in the last chat or two. I can't remember if it was 2 or just 1, but anyway, miss you. It's good to see you in here, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're stoked on the warp. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, I guess you saw I posted a video a few weeks ago riding the warp myself, and it was awesome. I loved it. It wasn't as cool as your warp though, not the dark side version, but it was a super fun time. So hope you're enjoying your board. And yeah, dude, if you got any passes available or any kind of connection to help me out, that would be dope to try to hit up Bogus on March 23rd. So if you can't, don't worry about it. I'll probably reach out to them if I haven't heard anything about pass or anything. It's probably just going to be me. So it wouldn't be too many passes to ask for. At this point, I think it's just going to be me solo. So if anybody could link up, that would be dope. And then I mentioned this a few times already, but we're going to do a group meetup. Hopefully you guys can make it if you're anywhere local. Weekend after this weekend. So March 16th and 17th. Right now the plans are for Saturday, March 16th to be at Solitude and Sunday, March 17th to be at Park City. A big shout out to my homie Mike George. He's been in a couple of videos, but he works over there. And he's hooking me up with a pass, actually 2 passes to Park City because we don't have an Epic Pass this year or anything. But yeah, planning to be there with Austin, hopefully, if he can make it March 17th. And then, yeah, Solitude, March 16th. Yeah. Red says, been traveling on business, I guess. Cool. That makes sense. What dates are you heading up again? Yeah, there you go. March 23rd. Warp did take a few laps. I'm not even giving it a thumbs up and we're getting the bubble. Warp did take a few laps to get used to. Love it. Nice. Yeah, it definitely was the same for me. It's a very different ride having 2 side cuts because the toe side cut is much bigger, a bigger radius than the radius on the heels. So it takes a little getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's awesome. It's so sick. I couldn't believe how stable it was, like in drops and stuff where I've washed out on my heels before. It was just holding like glue on my heel edge, which is awesome. So yeah, I hope you like it, man. That's sick. I think you said that you will be out of town. Yeah, yeah, I see your comment. So that's a bummer. I'm sorry, man. It's yeah, too bad. It's unfortunate that you won't be there. But it just worked out that way. That's the weekend that we'll be up there visiting the in-laws. It's their anniversary weekend, actually. So hopefully it's the first of many trips up there. And I'd like to hit up Sun Valley. I've heard a few people, even as recent as yesterday, saying like you got to check out Sun Valley. Probably won't be able to in this trip, but a lot of people are telling me Sun Valley is worth hitting up. So that's pretty cool. What's up, Jason? Good to see you again, man. He says, hi, all. See the epic full access pass price for the 24-25 season. I haven't. Did they raise it? I'm guessing they are. That's probably why you're asking me. But I did see Powder Mountain's prices have gone up, which I guess we all kind of expected to happen. Austin messaged me yesterday and was like, dude, did you see the new price of the Powder Mountain Pass? And yeah, you got to be on the wait list if you're going to get one anyway, or already like grandfathered in. But I think it's a little bit more than the Bird Pass now, which is kind of surprising. I think it's like 1,500, and that's like the early price. But no, I have not seen the Epic Full Access Pass price for next season. I probably won't get the Full Access Pass as little as I ride out of state, like 0. And this year we're getting up to Idaho. So I'll probably just get an Epic local pass if I get an Epic pass next year. I wish I had it this year. I'll say that much. I don't know for sure that I'll get it, but I think last year Sean Phillips told me it was like $500, maybe $590, something like that, for the local pass if you got it early enough. And that just gets you Park City access. Obviously, nothing else. So, yeah, curious to see what the full pass is. I will be out of town, but still trying to get you a pass. Thanks, Red. Appreciate that, man. That would be really dope. I'd be forever grateful. Heel edge is amazing. Super glue. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the heel edge on the warp is like super glue. It's impressive. I wonder what kind of conditions you've ridden in, because the day I rode it was pretty much a full-blown POW day, but by the end of the day it was getting kind of choppy and chundery, and it held an edge in like all conditions. So yeah, curious what kind of snow you're riding or have ridden in yet. What's up, Gary? Gary's in here. Says, I saw a warp at the Midvale track Saturday. Cool. That's sick. 6:30 a.m. That's early. Don't know who it belonged to. I don't either. I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it wasn't Austin, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. Maybe he would know who it is. I asked Austin if he wanted to join in on this chat, by the way, but he's pretty busy tonight. I think he said he had some family plans going on, but maybe we can get him in the next chat. Yeah, that's cool. I'll tell him. He'll get a kick out of that. So Jason says the Epic full access pass is $982. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of pricey, but when you consider it for like in comparison to a local resort season pass, that's still cheaper than a few things. So that gets you all access, obviously, to Park City and then a ton of other places. I don't think I'll pull the trigger on that, probably. But what was the pass before? Was it like 800? Jason, if you know, for the Epic full access? Because I don't know. I've never actually owned an Epic full access. I've never owned an Epic pass for that matter, but I think I will pick up the local one just for Park City. It makes sense. But yeah, I'm curious to know what the price is on that. I'll have to look it up. Red says, next time, brother. Yeah. FYI, Sun Valley tickets are pricey if you are unable to land a pass. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. No. What's your definition of pricey these days, man? Seems like anything around 100 or like $90 is like affordable. That's like cheap these days for a day pass, which is not like affordable for me to be real. But most places, man, it seems like they're at least like 180, 190 for most resorts now for a day pass. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, but that's good to know. I may reach out to their marketing and, tell them who I am, what I do, and see if they'll hook it up. I've had luck with places like Brian Head before doing that. That's how we got hooked up at Brian Head. So maybe they'll show some love. It's like a 50-50 shot when you reach out to resorts, it seems. Some resorts are super cool and down and they're like, oh, sick, you're going to give us publicity? That's great, sure. And then other places are like, nah, we don't need it. We don't need the publicity, or they maybe see you as like competition being a YouTuber. I don't know. It's weird. So we'll probably give that a shot if we try to hit up Sun Valley. Oh, you're saying it's 235 if I'm not mistaken. Dang. Yeah, that's rough. Wow. That's what day passes were at Palmau this year. 239 or 229, I think, if you bought it the day of, which sucks. But yeah, good to know. Jason says, I'm cringing on what Icon is going to cost. Oh, yeah, right. I mean, if prices are going up and people are raising prices, especially competitors, for those mega passes, what's to stop them from raising their prices? I mean, they can blame it on inflation, but it's not like people are gonna stop buying them if they raise them just a little bit. If it's like $100 more, maybe $200 more than it used to be, they get away with it, because it's still cheaper than just buying day passes or buying a season pass to like your favorite resort in most cases. But yeah, costs are going up, inflation, man, whatever you want to call it. But I do think the ski resort industry, they blame it on inflation, but it's gone up way more than our economy has. It's insane. I might have talked about this in another chat, but I remember somebody posted a graph showing like how prices at resorts have gone up over the last like 50 years, and in comparison with how much inflation has gone up. And the prices of lift tickets was like 3 or 4 times higher than actual inflation had gone up. It's ridiculous. Based on like the cost of what lift tickets used to be in like the 70s. So it's stupid. Yeah. We just got to get back out in the backcountry some more, guys. It's been kind of a sketchy season here, though. If we get a break in the storms, like for a week, I might do some backcountry stuff. But I'm getting off topic a little bit, I guess. Let's see if I missed any comments. Jack Ward, what's up, Jack? Says, what is the closest resort to downtown Salt Lake City? Specifically the downtown area, probably Woodward. Now I know Woodward is just like park oriented, so if you're not a park rider and you want to, get some actual trails and some actual vertical, then it's either gonna be Canyons on the Park City side, or I guess Solitude. Yeah. Solitude is definitely the closest one in the Cottonwoods. And then it's probably a toss up between that and like Park City, but Canyons is a little bit closer on that side of Park City. Yeah. Those are going to be your closest from downtown. Yeah. I think I talked about that in the Park City review and the Solitude review. So if you check out those videos, the Park City review video or the Solitude review video, I'll tell you how far away it is from center of Salt Lake Valley, which is like around Midvale area. But that's like maybe 5 minutes more than from downtown. But anyway, shameless plug. Sorry. Check out my videos. But thanks for the question. Jason talked about the prices already. Gary says, I got to guess they'll raise Icon $50 for renewal. Probably, at least, right? I feel like if they're going to raise it, it would be 100. 100's an easy round number for them. And it's like, it sucks, but it's not like, a 20% or 30% increase. I don't know. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, Red says 235 at Sun Valley. That's too much. Jason says a lot of the European resorts' day passes are cheaper in comparison to U.S. resorts. Absolutely. Yeah. I've never ridden in Europe, but I know that's true. I've seen a lot of data reflecting that, and like videos online on Insta and YouTube talking about the price difference in Europe. It's crazy because the Europeans just refuse to sell out to these mega passes like the Icon and Epic Pass. I think that's the main reason. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's many, if any, in Europe that are like Icon or Epic. There's maybe a few. I'm not sure what they are, if they are, but it's nothing like here in the States. And I think that's what's keeping ticket prices down. Yeah, it's a weird time we live in because it's like mountains are more accessible than ever if you get these mega passes, but mountains are more crowded than ever and harder to get into if you're a beginner than ever because the entry price is so steep to try it out. It's like, hey, you're a brand new skier or rider and you want to try it for the first time, buy a mega pass. That's your best value versus buying a day pass somewhere. Like, it's stupid. I was talking to my buddy Joey about it yesterday, and it's $300 for a day pass at Park City. And at least last year, you could get the Epic local pass for $500. Like 2 days worth of riding, more than paid for a whole season pass. That math just doesn't add up. That's insane. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a dead topic we've talked about forever, but it's still relevant. So here we are. Should we take board progression to Europe, guys? I'd like to. Celica and I talked about someday living there. So you never know. Pal Ninja, what's up? Good to see you in here, man. He says, what's up, Dan? It's pretty rare when beaver outscores the cottonwoods. I heard, man. We got around 15 inches last night and this morning. Dang, that's awesome. I saw Pal Mal got hammered this morning too. It looked like they had like 14 inches as of 7 o'clock this morning, something like that. So yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of beaver, I've been talking to Matt. I said this last chat, maybe last few chats, but I'm trying to get a connect, a hook up there to come up there, possibly as early as next week. He said he's reaching out to the owner to see if he can do something for me on passes. But it's a bit of a drive. It's like almost 3 hours, I want to say, if I remember correctly, from here. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe it's like 2. But it's quite a commitment. Austin and I have been talking about potentially crashing somewhere up there overnight, and hitting Beaver one day and then Cherry Peak the next day. But Cherry Peak, I'm pretty sure, is only open during the day, Thursday through Sunday. So it would have to be like a Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday kind of thing if we did that. But if anybody has a place that we could crash on like a couch or something up by Beaver or Logan, let us know. That'd be kind of tight. That would save us on an Airbnb. Yeah, I'm stoked for you though, man. 15 inches. That's awesome. I wish I could have been there. But hopefully maybe next week. Definitely. It's got to be like by the end of March to get up there. Gary says, I've got some buddy passes left for Icon. Cool. But is that just like a discount, the buddy passes? I think that's what that is, right? Yeah, I've got an Icon pass, but I've never used a buddy pass. But I think it's like, is it half off? It's a discount, right? But that's cool. Jason says Vail is gonna clean house selling a lot of Epic passes. Yeah, that's their goal. Their goal is to get everybody on the Epic Pass. Yeah, for better or worse. Adam Rouse, what's up, Adam? Says, hey, Dan, checking in from Phoenix, Arizona. Sweet. Love the channel, man. Looking forward to getting up to Sundance, Brighton, and Bryan Head next week. That's a good combo, man. That's great. You get like a little flavor of each bit of Utah. I'd say if you can get something in northern Utah, you've got like the whole palette. But yeah, Brighton's going to be dope for the Cottonwoods. Sundance is awesome just because of the views like around Timpanogos and all. And it's a whole different vibe. And then Bryan Head, that's awesome further down south. Very cool. Are you hitting them in that order? Are you like coming up here to Brighton and then like making your way further back down south? Very dope. Yeah. I miss Sundance this season, guys. I don't think I'm going to get there this season. Don't have any kind of connect there. Yeah, but I miss Sundance. Sundance was super fun last year. I got to hit it a few times. And Bryan Head for that matter. Man, I'd love to hit Bryan Head and Eagle because I still haven't hit Eagle Point. But again, that one's tough too because Eagle's only open on the weekends, as far as I know. And if I'm going down there for one, it's like you might as well do both because it's a pretty far trip. But Adam, it sounds like you're not hitting Eagle. Let me know if you are. Jack Ward says, cool, I'll check those out. Thanks. Yeah, man. No worries. Talking about the closest resort to downtown Salt Lake. Yeah, either Solitude or Park City, sorry. Or Woodward. Red says, smash the like button if you haven't already. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Says we got 13 likes right now. I'm reading. That's an unlucky number. We got to get that up. Let's do the thumbs up. See if we can get a bubble. Are they going to do the bubble? They're not giving us the bubble. I don't understand that. Anyway, we got 13. Let's see if we can get that up to 4. There we go. We got 14. Sick. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, and I appreciate your thumbs ups. And the rally of the troops, Red. Red says, check out Pomerel on your way to Boise. Family Mountain. Haven't been, but I've heard great things, and passes are super cheap. Cool. I'm going to write that down. Pomerel. I feel like I've heard of that. I want to say either Trace or Austin told me about it. Austin knows a guy whose family owns like a resort somewhere in Idaho. And I think it's a smaller one, so maybe it's that one. And then Trace told me about a place that's not too far over the border of Idaho and Utah that he said is like a gem. It's like only 1 or 2 lifts, but he said he's had some awesome days there. So that might be it. Honestly, my memory is not the best with that, so I don't know. But good tip. It'll be tough convincing the wife and Arthur to hang out or maybe get on the slopes with me on the way up there because we're going up there to visit family. But you never know. If it's cheap enough, maybe I could just grab like a lap or 2 and cross that one off the list. Or maybe on the way back. Good to know. Pomerel. If anybody else has hit Pomerel, let me know. AJ Piper. What's up, AJ? Thanks for being in here. I live in the Midwest. Just started snowboarding this past month at 37. Sick, dude. That's awesome. Fell a bit my first couple days, but I have about 100,000 vert now. Dang, that's good. That's really good. It's probably more vert than, and there's a thumbs up. I mean, you don't even want it. I don't know. I guess I do this too much when I'm talking. Anyway, yeah, 100,000 vert. I don't even know how much vert I've gotten this season, but that sounds like a lot and maybe more than I've had. So good on you, man. That's sick. Yeah, how is it learning in the Midwest? Is it pretty firm when you fall? Or have you had some soft days? That's impressive if you're learning at that age. That's awesome. I tell people all the time, it's never too late to start. You just have to be willing to fall. That's really all it boils down to. If you're willing to fall and you're okay with falling and you can get back up without being, permanently injured, then it's never too late to start. But that's awesome, man. Feeling a lot better. Season here is basically over. I hate to hear that. Sorry, I saved the last sentence for the end, and that's the worst part of that comment. Yeah, that's too bad. I grew up back east, and I was talking with my buddy Joey yesterday, who's from there, and he's teaching right now at my old local hill, and he said they got maybe a week left, which is a bummer. I always hated March back east, and I guess maybe Midwest is similar, because March is like when you're finally starting to feel good riding most of the time if you've been riding throughout the season, and then resorts start closing. That's a bummer. Maybe you can make a trip somewhere and get a few more days in, but good on you, dude. At 37, that's sick. Heck yeah. Gary says there's some BYU by your 50. Oh, you're talking about like the university, BYU, 50% discount on Sundance. Don't need student proof. Okay. I'll have to look into that. So how do you get that? You just tell them you're from BYU, or do you buy it online? Interesting. Yeah, that's good to know. I thought you were going to say like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but that's good to know. Red says tickets are $50 in advance to Pomerel, 65 day of. Okay, that's decent. I mean, nowadays that's cheap. Yeah, that's definitely cheap by today's standards. That's pretty cool. I think the cheapest tickets I've seen in Utah are at Nordic Valley for, I want to say, $29. I was looking at prices on Sunday to go Monday or Tuesday this week. I didn't go, but I was looking just in case I could have. And yeah, there was like $29, I think, to Nordic Valley the day before. But that's dirt cheap here now. So $50 is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to swing it on the way there or on the way back, but we'll mention it to the wifey if she's tuning into the chat. Drop a comment. Red says, I already read that one. Nick says, Gary, I think it's for night skiing. Talking about the Sundance 50% discount. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't done night skiing at Sundance. I've done it at Brighton. I've done it at Pall Mall. But Sundance has it. Nordic has it. That might be it, besides Woodward Park City, which is open until like 8 p.m., I want to say. But that might be it for Utah night skiing, at least the northern half of Utah. But good to know if it is. Yeah. And what do you guys think about night skiing or night riding? Have you all done it? Do you like it? Back in the day, man, when I was back east, that was most of what I did. I would go up with my high school buddies in the evenings after school, and it was like an hour and a half drive to get up there. But I want to say for a few years, all I did was night riding. And then I broke my back. If you guys haven't heard that story, yeah, I was going off a park jump at night when everything got bulletproof and fractured my T11 and T12, falling on my back from like, I don't know, 30 feet in the air off a kicker. But I won't hit park jumps at night these days, I'll say. But the night riding I've done at Brighton and Pall Mall have been super sick, a bit more forgiving. Yeah. Gary says thanks. Nick Real, what's up, Nick? I think you use code BYUMMDD, month and date. Okay. Like the month and date that you're going, or the month and date that's your birthday, or yeah, what does that mean, month date? Am I stupid? I probably am. If that's obvious, sorry, let me know. AJ Piper says, I've been told this has been the worst year for snow in Michigan. I hate to hear that, man. Hate to hear that anywhere. I got knee pads and padded shorts. Awesome. That is smart, dude. That's very smart if you're learning. I've been cycling for a while and rode up Pikes Peak in 17. Nice. Been looking for a sport for the winter. Awesome. You rode up Pikes Peak in 2017? Is that what you're saying? Or in 17 minutes? Specify, if you will. Yeah. Have you ever checked out the Pikes Peak hill climb? A friend of mine's huge into cars, buddy I used to track cars with, and he's been up there a few years for the Pikes Peak hill climb. So just curious. Red says Bogus has night skiing as well. Cool. Should be 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. when you are here. Okay, sweet. I don't know if I'll actually partake in night riding at Bogus, but that's good to know. Very cool. Do they have multiple lifts and stuff, or is it just like one area? Down here, it seems like there's really only like one or two trails, or maybe like lifts, I should say, at resorts. Like at Pall Mall, it's just sundown. At Sundance, I think that there's only like one area that has lights. Brighton is probably the biggest because it used to just be Crest, but they added lights on Snake a couple years ago. But that's still like less than half the resort. Whereas where I grew up, like granted, it was a tiny resort, but everything was lit. Like everything was open at night, but it was pretty small too. Jason says, I love night riding. Sick. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun, especially if the conditions are decent. But yeah, when you're in like high school, it doesn't matter. It could be bulletproof and we're still having fun. It's cool. I love riding, especially Brighton with some fresh snow at night. I've heard Nordic can be pretty dope at night too. AJ Piper says night riding was really fun. It's big here in the Midwest. Sweet. Yeah, I have a feeling it's similar to like Pennsylvania and stuff back east in the mid-Atlantic. Adam, what's up, Adam? Says, hi, Dan, love the channel. And VO gloves, sweet. I'm in Boston, but going snowboarding in Utah for the first time mid-month. Sick. My SLC bud's favorite resort is Brighton, so I guess we'll be there. Nice. Yeah, Brighton's dope for sure. I just dropped a video yesterday at Brighton, guys. Kind of a short one. So if you're looking for something that's not a huge time commitment, it's definitely longer than a TikTok video, but I think it's clocking in around 7 minutes. So one of my shortest edits, but it's a good one. It's packed with great content. There was a few shots that I lost due to user error. That's kind of part of why it's only 7 minutes. So my apologies there. But yeah, I was filming with the DJI Osmo Action 4 again. And it was cloudy all day. And then there was a bit later in the day where the sun started to come out. And I didn't switch ND filters So a few shots were completely unusable, super blown out, just nothing but white, which was a bummer because we had some pretty sick runs that wasn't able to throw in the video, but user error. That's the price of using the ND filters. Speaking of which, I got ND filters for the GoPro Hero 12, and we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison video very, very soon. In fact, I'm going to start filming it tomorrow. Going to be up at Snowbird. If anybody's in the area and you want to hit up the bird, it'd be sick to catch a lap or say hi if anybody's at the bird tomorrow. I'm going to be linking up with Alex, who's back from Alaska, and Brian. If you guys remember Brian, he hasn't been in a single video yet this season, but he was in a bunch all the years prior. He's just been a very, very busy guy working. Excuse me. And he's riding tomorrow, so stoked to link up with him. And yeah, we're going to be doing like a side-by-side comparison video of the GoPro Hero 12 and the Osmo Action 4 with both of them using ND filters. So I'm very curious to see how the footage looks with ND filters on the GoPro, because I've never actually shot with ND filters. It gives you the nice smooth motion blur that makes it look extra cinematic. A lot of you guys have commented that you like the footage I've been using with the DJI better. And I'm curious if it's just because of the ND filters. But anyway, that's enough camera talk for now. Unless you guys want to talk some more about it, drop some comments. Man, my ADHD's kicking in. What were we talking about? Let's see here. Oh yeah, Adam says, love the channel, love VO gloves. By the way, guys, there's always a link in the description to VO gloves. Discount code's still good, 15% off with promo code board progression. And I'm pretty sure Eric just got a few new gloves in stock, some new inventory, a bunch of different models like full mittens, some new 5-finger gloves, some orange and black ones that look super sick. I got a pair, even though they don't have my logo on them, just because they look super dope. So I'm going to use those a few times probably. Yeah, I feel like I was talking about something else too, but I don't know. Yeah, you should enjoy Brighton. It's a fun time. That was the first place I ever rode here. Sorry. And it made me fall in love with Utah, like instantly. And it was a low snowfall year too. It was a bad snowfall year, and I fell in love with it. Nick says, how's it at Sundance night riding? Brighton was great on snake and crest trails. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I haven't ridden at Sundance, but I have a feeling that, you have more terrain available at Brighton with the snake expansion. But yeah, I don't think it's quite as good, but I'm sure it's fun. Nick says, month and date you are riding at Sundance, I think, talking about the discount if you use the BYU month and date code. All right, it's worth trying. I'm curious if it's just night riding for that discount. It might be. But good tips in here, guys. Thanks. This is helpful for everybody. Seen it on my feed a few times, he says. Cool. I haven't seen that yet. AJ Piper says 2017. Cool. Rode up Pikes Peak cycling 2017. That's impressive, man. I haven't seen it in person, but Pikes Peak is pretty famous, and it's not for being shallow or short. That's awesome. I see people cycling up the Cottonwoods all the time, especially Little Cottonwood Canyon. And I'm just like, man, that just looks like such a suffer fest. I mean, I kind of get it, especially if you enjoy the downhill. It's sort of like split boarding, right? Or skinning up skiing. It's a little bit of a suffer fest getting uphill, but the view up top and then the ride down is totally worth it. So I get it, but I'm not a cyclist myself. But that's sick. He says, yeah, the hill climb is crazy. Cool. Red says, yes, multi-lift for night riding, an entire front side, talking about Bogus's night riding. Cool. That's sick. Awesome. I need to start checking out the map and getting a lay of the land for Bogus for my visit. That's cool. Entire front side sounds sick. Gary says, surprisingly, Alyeska in Alaska has great night. Wow, really? Not quite Brighton, but no one is there. You mean it's not like a destination resort to go for night riding? You don't go all the way up to AK to night ride a resort in Alaska? That's cool. I'll have to ask Alex if he did that. I don't think he did, but I know he was at that resort. He was at Alyeska, if I'm saying it correctly, by the way. He was there on the days that they were waiting for snow and avalanche conditions to settle down, I think. I know he was there a few days before they actually like flew out and rode some gnarly stuff. Yeah, you guys should see his story. I mean, if I throw some footage together for a board progression edit, then you'll see it anyway. But on Instagram, Alex posted some really insane looking lines that just go on forever, and it looks like you're in the middle of the wilderness. It's so cool. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, let me know. I'll post that stuff in a short little edit, probably for board progression. Yeah, he says only 1/4 of the mountain, but decent vertical, kind of therapeutic. That's cool. There is something really cool about not having anybody around and riding, whether it's just like a back hill in like your neighborhood, which I've done before, literally in my backyard, or a resort or backcountry. There is something very therapeutic about riding in just like that silence with just like nobody else around. It's cool. I mean, obviously you want to do it where it's safe, and if it's anywhere out of bounds, without like ski patroller or somebody to help you if you get injured, you definitely want to have somebody with you. But that's cool. Adam says, I got my first season pass at age 40. Right on. So yeah, definitely never too late. Absolutely, dude. It does mean more fear off of jumps / tricks. Yeah, I agree. There's definitely more second guessing past 40 of like, okay, what's going to happen if XYZ happens, right? When you're in your 20s or teenage year, you're just like, you're going to huck and pray. And if I get hurt, doctors will fix me up or I'll just bounce back anyway. So I feel you there, but that's cool. Yeah, and I mean, as far as just like carving and tearing up groomers, like we can do that forever. So that's awesome. First season pass of 40. AJ Piper says, so where should I go first? I'm comfortable doing all Midwest blues, and I've done a handful of blacks here. Good question, AJ. Are you asking like what resort you should hit first, or are you asking like where to go in the resort? If we're talking about what resort you should go to first, I'd say maybe Brighton. And sorry if you already said that you're going there. I think it was somebody else though. Yeah. If you've done blues in the Midwest and a handful of blacks, I think you're going to have more fun at Brighton than, say, the Bird. Park City could be really fun too, though. Do you have a mega pass? If you got an epic pass, then that's kind of a no-brainer to go to Park City. Canyon Side's my favorite. There's a lot of good intermediate terrain, and it's less crowded in Canyon Side. If you have an Icon pass, I'd say Brighton. Solitude has some pretty steep terrain. There's some intermediate, but it's not as much fun. I feel like the intermediate terrain in Solitude is not as fun as Brighton. But that would be my go-to. Bird's just too gnarly, honestly. Snow Basin has some good blues as well, so that could be another option if you wanted to go further up north. But yeah, those are my suggestions. And if you're talking about where on the mountain at Brighton, pretty much all over. I'd say Brighton really is a blue intermediate resort, but with black and double black terrain like sprinkled throughout. That's kind of the way Brighton is. You can even go up like Great Western, which is supposed to be experts only. And there's like, pretty intermediate ways to get down it. So hope that helps. By the way, we've been going for almost an hour. We'll try to wrap this up around 9. We try to cater towards people on the East Coast, especially because it gets kind of late. But I appreciate you guys being in here. So we'll keep it going for at least another 7 minutes. Drop any comments if you got them. Definitely hit some thumbs ups. We got 15. Let's see if we can get up to 20. That'd be sick. And if you guys are feeling real generous, you can always throw in a super chat or just support the channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. And maybe pick up some merch. We got the Utah Stance Shouldn't Matter shirt on right now. If you guys didn't realize, this is supposed to be a snowboarder. And yeah, got a hat on as well. Link to that in the description as always. I only mention it because I did a live chat like 3 weeks ago and some people were like, you should have merch. We got merch. Yeah. What else we got in here? Coney Yeezy. Am I saying that right? Love your videos, man. I am a snowboarder from Texas. Nice. And my buddy moved to Utah and works at Utah State. So I've gotten to visit and board a couple of mountains up there. After visiting, Utah is greater than... Oh, I can't finish that sentence. Yeah. Shh. Wait, that's not true. Whatever he just wrote, I won't say it. It's not true, guys. Colorado's the best, even though I just held up a Utah shirt. That's awesome, man. It's not every day you hear somebody say, I'm a snowboarder from Texas, but I love it. I love it when people say I'm a snowboarder from Texas or I'm a snowboarder from Florida. It's pretty dope. Alex actually lived in Florida for a good chunk of his life before moving out here. But yeah, that's sick. Love it, man. Thanks for being here. And appreciate the feedback. I'm glad you're stoking on the videos. Very cool. What mountains have you ridden in Utah? And do you have a favorite? Love to know that. AJ Piper says, do you guys use Strava? Remind me what Strava is. I'm drawing a blank. I know this, and I feel like I'm gonna smack myself in the head when I realize what it is. Yeah, remind me what Strava is. Somebody. I've heard of it, and for whatever reason, I'm forgetting what it is. Red says you will want to ride backside when you come up. More technical, blacks, etc. Front side, mainly blue runs. Nice. Okay. Talking about Bogus Basin on the backside. Very cool. Yeah, I'm stoked. Oh, okay, Strava is like an app, isn't it? I'm looking it up right now for recording. Yeah, exactly. I knew I'd heard of it, but I do not use it personally. A year or two ago, probably more at this point, I was using an app called Slopes, and Slopes recorded like all your data of like how far you rode and your vertical and all that stuff too. But I don't know, to be quite frank, I just don't really care that much about that stuff when I'm riding. I'm kind of doing it for like the senses of being in the moment. And it is cool to know that stuff afterwards. But I found oftentimes more than not, I would just forget to like turn that app on or or track. Even Snowbird has tracking on the Snowbird app, and I'll use the Snowbird app all the time because it alerts you when lifts open and terrain opens and stuff, or if terrain closes due to winds or whatever. But I often don't use the tracking features on it. I don't know, but it's nice to, if you have a group of people, you can track your friends and you can see exactly where they're on the mountain, like if you get separated or if you're trying to link up with somebody. So that's pretty cool on the Snowbird app. Can you do that on Strava? I'm curious. Maybe you can. I would be surprised if you can't nowadays. But yeah, can you like send your data to somebody else in real time and like see where each other are on the mountain on Strava? I'm curious. Red says I use slopes. There you go. I was just talking about slopes. And Strava for mountain biking. Cool. Will slopes upload to Strava? No idea. And Red says yes, it will. Narcoplexic. What's up, Narcoplexic? Thanks for being here. Says know of any daily transport options between Salt Lake City and Park City? Daily? I don't think so. Yeah, something affordable. I'm guessing UTA has, yeah, like that's probably your best option. UTA is public transit here. So I would just go to their website. I know they have buses that go up I-80. Let me see the website. Yeah, if you go to rideuta.com, that's Utah Transit Authority. And depending on where you're talking about, specifically in Salt Lake, there might not be like a direct bus stop, but that's probably going to be your most affordable option if you're talking about like commuting or something like that. Job says, what up? What up? What's up, Job? Hope your day is going great. That's awesome, man. Yeah, day is going fantastic. I hope yours is too. I hope everybody's having a great day today as it's winding down. And I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. If you didn't hear, I'm going to be at the Bird tomorrow. So if anybody's local and you're at Snowbird, I try to give you guys a heads up when I know and when I've decided. I don't always decide until like the day of where I'm going to ride, but tomorrow we're going to be at the Bird. So hope you guys have an awesome day wherever you're at tomorrow. Konyeezy says, definitely not true. Talking about his last comment. For sure, CO is greater than UT. It was a typo. Appreciate the correction. Thanks, brother. Narcoplexic says Strava tracks like bike ride or movement stuff. Yeah, cool. Using GPS makes sense. Narcoplexic, high speed is fun to see at times. That's true. Yeah, that's probably like the most fun stat that I would see on slopes is like your top speed. I kind of liked it for that. Yeah, maybe I'll download it again, see what kind of speeds I can get up to these days. I remember clocking myself on Anderson's at the Bird. I mean, they used to be called Anderson's. I think it's called Think Young now. Actually just filmed a top to bottom talking about that yesterday. That video will drop Friday. But yeah, I clocked myself there, and I want to say I was at like right around 50 miles an hour pointing it. But I can't be sure. Now you got me curious to know what my top speed is downhill. I will say skiers can go a little bit faster, it seems, than boarders. Maybe if you have the right board and you're tucking tightly, you can get up there. But I know some skiers have gotten up to like 60 miles an hour. I'm thinking of my friend Sean. We got a super chat in the house. Sweet. Thanks, Adam. Adam's a man. Rest easy, man. Got any other cool tips for Brighton? as an East Coaster, what's your favorite resort there? Do you like any places up in Vermont or New Hampshire? Yeah. So your first question, cool tips for Brighton. If you're driving up, you don't need a parking reservation Monday through Thursday. But if you do need a parking reservation for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, which you would if you're driving, they release parking every day the day before the day that you're trying to get it at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. So I hope that helps. But if you're trying to get parking, if you hop on there the day before, like 8 a.m. or 2 p.m., you might be able to snag a spot. If you're not parking, if you're not driving, sorry, the bus is your best way to go to get up there. I'm trying to think of other cool tips. Millie is my favorite area, I'd say, on any given day. Millie is just super fun. There's tons of cliffs and rocks and stuff to jump off of, side hits. I'd say talk to a local if you can, if you're there. Heck, if I'm in the area and I'm riding that day, I could show you a few places maybe. So reach out to me on Instagram if you're there. Trying to think of some other tips. Yeah, the trees are really dope, especially Snake Creek. Another tip I'll say is if you're following Brighton on Instagram, most of the clips they post are out of bounds. And while the side country is awesome, I would try to have a local show you the side country because that's kind of the best stuff at Brighton, honestly. But I would not venture out there by yourself if you've never been there, especially. As an East Coaster, what's your favorite resort there? It's a tough one, man. I get asked that all the time. And I'm making a top 10 list of my top 10 videos. And you guys are just going to have to wait and see which one comes out on top. But even that may or may not be my favorite, quote unquote. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like my three go-to resorts, I'll say that, are Brighton, Snowbird, and Pall Mall. Those are the ones I've ridden the most, probably because I have the most fun there. But it's hard, man. I mean, I love Snow Basin. I haven't ridden there enough, mostly just because it's a little bit further away, and I've never had a pass that gets me full access there. But if I live closer to Snow Basin, I honestly think that would be my favorite, or it could be anyway. It's so dope. Park City is also equally dope. It just doesn't have the steep technical terrain that the Cottonwoods have. But if you like intermediate terrain and like sick tree runs, tons of trails, endless, laps without a lot of crowds, Canyonside Park City is amazing. It just doesn't have the cliffs and like drops that the other resorts have. But yeah, I don't have a straight up answer for my favorite resort. I think if, and this is totally hypothetical, if Snowbird was never crowded and didn't get tracked out as fast as it does, it would be my favorite resort. But those two things happen. So I don't know if it is. It's hard to say. But I'm going to the Bird tomorrow. So take what you will from that. Yeah, good question. Oh, and this is a long super chat, but you're a super chat, so we're giving you some love, man. Last part of that is, do you like any places up in Vermont or New Hampshire? I've been to Sunday River in New Hampshire, which was pretty fun. I think that's the only place I've ridden. Oh, no, I've been to Loon. Loon was sick, too. And then Vermont. Yeah, I've been to a few places in Vermont. Killington, Mount Snow, Jay Peak, and Stowe. I think those are it. Really love Stowe. Stowe was super fun. And Jay Peak, if you can get it on a good storm cycle, Jay Peak was super sick. But it's really far up there. It's like a couple miles away from the Canadian border. But those are my two favorites probably in Vermont. And Gary coming in with a big old $20 super chat. Heck yeah, you guys are pouring them in now. Thank you guys. This is sick. Just a thanks for everything, says Gary. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it, buddy. And Jason coming in with a $5 super chat for the dream. Yeah, you guys are fulfilling the dream. Thank you so much. Any old school skaters out there? There's a video by Shorties called "Fulfill the Dream," and you guys are fulfilling the dream. With Chad Muska is that old school skate video. But if you're not a skater, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Probably. But yeah, thank you guys for fulfilling the dream. So sick. Yeah, I met a homie at Brighton who told me, he was like, dude, don't ever stop making videos. I threw a clip of it in the last video actually yesterday at Brighton. And I just threw it up on Instagram too. Homie named Poon. And he was like, dude, I saw your live chat where you were asking if you should continue making videos. And he's like, don't ever stop making videos, man. They're so sick. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all that support to keep the dream going. This has been a dream come true. It really has. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I do, and I'm grateful that it inspires you guys and that you're stoking on it. So thank you so much. I'll try to wrap up the last few comments we got. We're at 17 likes. If we can get 3 more likes, we'll hit 20. That's a good round number. So I appreciate that, guys. Hit the like. And if anybody else is feeling generous and you want to throw another super chat, that'd be super dope. But even if not, I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here, as always. And one more thing I'll mention is we got the Patreon as well. I do get a bigger chunk of the Patreon's percentage than the super chats. So just putting that out there. You can give as little as $1 a month. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Job says picked up a job at Cherry Peak so I could learn. Nice. Job picked up a job, or job picked up a job? Just kidding. Stupid joke. Dad joke. I'm a dad now. I'm allowed to do those. Got 5 days of riding under my belt. Our passes get us free days at Bogus. Sweet. Worth the drive to Bogus? I don't know yet, but maybe. That's good to know. That's pretty cool that you get hooked up at Bogus. I guess they're sister resorts or something. I'll tell you in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Yeah, I'll be there the 23rd. I don't know. I'll let you know. But that's pretty cool. Hey, Job, if you know anybody at Cherry Peak that could potentially hook me up with a pass at Cherry Peak, let me know. That'd be sick. That's worth its weight in gold, man, if you know anybody. If you don't, no worries. But I'll probably reach out to them and try to get a couple passes to Cherry Peak. And yeah, man, I feel like I've got tons of questions for you, Job, about Cherry, because I've never been up there. But we'll keep going because we said we wrap this up around 9 and it's 9:10. Narcoplexic says Epic Pass and Icon apps both track some of it just through the RFID chip on the pass itself. Interesting. Huh, I didn't know that. I didn't know it could track location through the pass, but I guess that makes sense. Very interesting. It's also kind of creepy. Epic and Icon are watching us and tracking us. Coney, I guess that makes sense too, because maybe like people want to see, what trails they rode and stuff, and you can do that through the pass apparently. Coney Easy says we go to Wolf Creek, Colorado almost every winter since it's the best and closest resort to Texas. Okay, cool. I've heard good things about Wolf Creek. Great local feel and has a lot of different terrain. Cool, that's sick. Are they on one of those passes, by the way? I don't know. It might be on Epic. I don't know. That's cool. Sick. In Utah, I've been to Beaver and Cherry. Okay, we're just talking about Beaver and Cherry. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to Beaver and Cherry before the end of the season. I don't know when, but hopefully hitting 2 in 2 days, like Beaver one day and Cherry the next day. and crashing somewhere overnight around Logan, potentially. Actually, I just remembered, I think my buddy Ramsey's family is up there. I wonder if I could crash there, but maybe not. If you guys know anybody with a couch to crash on for me and Austin, we want to do that. Let me know. Talking about Strava. Yeah, you can track a buddy. That's cool. Am I going to poach Alta again, AJ? Yes, I am. In fact, yesterday I was about to try to film a video showing you guys how to poach Alta, but the armpit gate was closed and Baldy Chutes gate was closed. So it was not a go, but that's coming. Definitely going to poach Alta and film it for you guys. And I think it would be kind of super sick to stick it to them. Sorry if any of you guys are skiers and you love Alta, but I hope you can live with the fact that I want to show people how to snowboard Alta. I think that would be awesome. I think that would get some views, and I have like zero guilt about that, honestly. So gonna do like a step-by-step guide on how to ride Alta from the snowbird side. Yeah, next time I'm at the bird, maybe tomorrow, if those gates are open, if the armpit gates open or Baldy Chutes, it would be even more epic if we could do like main chute from the top. Never actually done that. I've never been able to hike up from the snowbird side and hit main chute. I've only done main chute preseason or postseason. So that would be really dope. But yes, answering your question, yes. Gary says from the airport, take green line. Here you go. That's some good info. This is what I love about you guys. This is an awesome community. From the airport, take the green line to City Center, and there's a bus to Kimball Junction, and then free bus to Canyons and Park City. Well, there you go. Awesome. Gary, I need you in like every live chat because I feel like this question's come up before, and I know like a vague answer of like directing people to UTA, but that's awesome. That's great. That's great tips right there. Cool. Search of snowboarding. Love that. That's awesome. No way. Search of snowboarding. Very cool name. He says Poon ? No way. I used to shred with him here in Aspen. Very cool. Yeah. If it's the same dude, check out my Brighton video I dropped yesterday. He's in it. You'll know for sure if you watch it. It's only a 7-minute video, low obligation. Check it out and then drop a comment on that video if it's the same Poon. I mean, it's a very unique name. He said it's his last name. I don't know his first name, honestly. He introduced himself as Poon and he said that's his last name. That's what he goes by. But yeah, very interested to know. He said he moved out here because of my videos. He said that was a huge inspiration to move out here and shred. I wonder if it's the same guy. Very interesting. Jason says, smash the like button and subscribe. Oh, we're so close, guys. We got 19 thumbs ups. So hit that like button. I know there's at least one more in here. We can get at least one more in here for 20. So if you haven't hit that, please. And yeah, subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed. I really wonder, can you get notified about these live chats without being subscribed? Do they pop up as recommendations? I guess they do. Yeah, they probably do if you're not subscribed. We are all the way up to 22. You guys are awesome. 22 likes. Sick. Thank you guys so much. Maybe we can get to 25 before we close off. Or am I getting greedy? Yeah, Red says happy shredding this week, everybody. I second that. Definitely. And by the way, next week, I'm going to try to get somewhere outside of the Cottonwoods, probably Snow Basin. Talking to Mark right now. He's my hookup up there about riding Snow Basin potentially next week. So if anybody's in the area next week, midweek, probably like Tuesday or Thursday, might be at Snow Basin. And I think I mentioned this, but if I didn't, yeah, I think I already mentioned the weekend of the 16th and 17th, going to do a meetup. So if anybody is in the area. March 16th is a Saturday, 2 weekends from now, going to be at Solitude, most likely. And then Sunday the 17th, going to be at Park City, probably the Canyon side. So if you guys can come out, would love to shred with you guys. We'll make a couple of videos out of it. I think it could be really fun. Even if it's only a handful of us, that would be even sicker because it'd be more intimate, but would love to have as many of you guys out if you can. Job picked up a job. That's awesome. Yeah. Job picked up a job. Narcoplexic, it's every time you get on Lyft or scanned, talking about the RFID tracking. But if you use the app, it'll use the phone. Gotcha. Cool. Job says, I could get you a day pass. Beautiful. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. If you're on Instagram, reach out to me on Instagram. DM me about that. If not, email me, boardprogression@gmail.com. That would be super sick. Maybe the beginner to double black can start at cherry. Nice. Yep. Yeah, sorry, we haven't done that video yet. Beginner to double black in 30 days, was it you said? It's the only resort I've been to since I just started. Definitely small, has some steeps. Runs are short, but there's no lift lines. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, day pass would be huge, dude. 2 would be even nicer, but 1 would be super clutch if that's all you can do. Would love to get up there with awesome, but even if we can just split the cost of 1 versus 2, that would be super amazing, dude. Yeah, I know it's like half the size of Beaver or something like that. So prepared for a smaller resort, but that's okay. Good to know there's some steeps. And gotta love no lift lines. Coney Z says, my buddy lives in Logan and would let you crash. Sick. Awesome. Has a guest bedroom. No way. And comfortable couch. Dude, that's like more than enough amenities. I'd crash on a floor. So dope. Coney, also, if you're on Instagram, hit me up. Would really appreciate that. If not, email me, boardprogression@gmail.com. But please don't spam me with emails, guys. Awesome, dude. Search of Snowboarding says, yep, same dude, Chris Poon. Nice. That's super rad. Yeah. What's your name? Well, I'll have to let them know that you're chiming in on here. Job says, really want to ride Snow Basin. You should, dude. It's very worth it. Snow Basin's maybe the most underrated resort here in Utah. Job says, my @ is Joe Blair. Cool. Thanks, buddy. Medium of media. Yo, sorry I'm late, but I made it. Yeah, dude, what's up? We're about to wrap it up, but you made it. So glad you're in here. Thanks, Medium. Medium, if you got a question, drop it real quick because we're going to sign off in like 2 minutes. But before you do, hit the thumbs up. If anybody hasn't hit the thumbs up yet, please feel free to hit that. And yeah, appreciate you guys. We've had a good chat in here. This is week 15. Search of Snowboarding says, hell yeah, if you see him again, tell him I say what's up. My name's Shane. Cool. For sure. I'll write that down because I will forget it. Shane and Poon. That name is just too funny. Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, he said he moved here, and board progression was a huge inspiration for that. So that's dope. Maybe you should move here. No, just kidding. Stay in Colorado. Colorado's better, guys. Medium and media. Are you loving life? Yeah, absolutely, brother. Loving each and every day. Each and every day is a gift, man. And being a dad just like amplifies that. It's so cool seeing my little guy grow. Actually, I'll show you guys a picture real quick. this is maybe a taste of what's to come. My son just turned 16 months. And yeah, check that out. It's not on snow, but pretty sick, huh? That was courtesy of my friend Mike. It's got the Batman shirt and everything. It's like, that's not a chip off the old block. I don't know what is. So maybe, probably not this month, but maybe April or May, we'll get them on snow in some form, probably just like the flats somewhere. But yeah, loving life, man. Life is really good. It's a blessing from God, and I'm super grateful to be just breathing another day. I hope you guys are too, and you guys are a big part of that. So thank you for helping me love life. Yeah, love these chats. Thank you guys for being here. I think we will sign off now. Medium of media, that was a great question to end it on. So even though you got here late, yeah, dude, that's a fantastic question. So thank you for being here. And thank each and every one of you guys. Thanks again for the super chats. You guys are super, super sick. And if there's any questions that you thought of that you didn't get to ask, yeah, go ahead and drop them either in a DM on Instagram or on a comment on my latest video, and I'll try to get to them. Jason says, nice start. I'm young. Shredder, medium. Yeah, Arthur's going to be a little ripper, I think. But I'm not going to push him. I'm not going to be soccer dad. Oh, we got one more question. We'll throw in real quick. Utkarsh K, if I'm saying that correctly, sorry. Says, do you have a day job? How do you find so much time to snowboard? I have a tech job and I really envy your life. Well, things aren't always what they seem, dude. Believe it or not, this season I've only ridden probably twice a week on average, sometimes 3 times a week. But my day job, if you will, is YouTube, but also being a stay-at-home dad half the week now. So every other day I'm home with the little guy, and my wife works the days off that I'm home and vice versa. And I spend a ton of time working on videos when I'm not riding. So I'll ride 2 or 3 times a week pretty much, but I'm not riding every day. Even my filmer in like 2 or 3 videos ago, Evan, who was using the long lens, he was like, yeah, I don't ride every day like Dan. And I was like, bro, I wish I rode every day. If I rode every day, I would not be putting out the kind of videos that I do, though. That's the reality of it. But if you're single, being a YouTuber and riding every day is absolutely possible. It's a grind. But if you're young enough, younger than me, to be real, then you can do it on like minimal sleep. But yeah, I ride like 2-3 days a week. I think I'm at day 33 tomorrow, something like that. So only 33, 34 days this season. And maybe to a lot of you guys, that's a ton of riding, more than you do. I respect that. But yeah, somebody like Alex, who works as a snowboard instructor, he's already got like double that. So yeah, that's my job. YouTube's my job. And right now, being a stay-at-home dad, like half of the week. And I love it. Wouldn't trade anything, honestly. Absolutely love it. But yeah, my advice to you is find a way to squeeze in more riding. If it's like night riding or weekends, do what you can. Coney says, just followed you on Insta. Sweet. Right on. Love that, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Ride Vibes in the house. Yo. How we doing? Good to see you, man. We are wrapping it up. I've been saying that for like the last 15 minutes, but I really do enjoy the conversation with you guys. So that's why we haven't. Ride Vibes, if you could hit the thumbs up, if you haven't already, that'll get us to 25. We'll get 25 thumbs ups before we peace out. That'd be awesome. or anybody else who hasn't hit the thumbs up yet. But yeah, as I said, if you guys have any other questions, DM me on Instagram or drop a comment on my latest video. We will be dropping a top to bottom video filmed at the Bird this Friday, and then a full edit next week. And coming pretty soon after that, maybe not immediately after that, it's going to be the side-by-side comparison video of this camera and the GoPro Hero 12. So stay tuned for those. And one last plug I'll say is, yeah, we got a meetup. Hopefully you guys can be around on Saturday, March 16th. We're going to be at Solitude, and Sunday, March 17th, going to be at Park City. At least those are the tentative days for those. They may get flipped, but it's definitely going to be the 16th and the 17th. If you guys are in town, would love to shred with you, even if it's just for a lap. All right, Ride Vibes, I agree. Smash the like button. And yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much. 15 weeks in a row. Can't believe we've done this. But stay tuned for the next chat next Wednesday. Thanks again, guys. Keep progressing. You. All the finger motions. Yeah. Thanks, guys.